So I'm going to run through. This is not a very long presentation. I'm going to run through it. I'm going to try not to rush through it, but I'm going to try to get through it quickly. A lot of it's going to be pretty common knowledge for anyone that's creating content, but it's all relevant to um, creating engaging content and like what's working right now on threads. So just go ahead and dive right into this. The Threads opportunity is great right now because there is awesome organic growth. Like people are connecting in real time on this platform. There are great conversations. There is not a lot of ads on there right now. So there's not a lot of BS in the feeds. It's just pretty much all post and conversations. And whether it's pictures or videos and text, it's mainly text. So you don't have the feed just flooded with multiple different formats. The conversations are great. People are very relatable on there. It's not a lot of polished content. It's very raw. It's very real. There's no really rhyme or reason, in my opinion, from the stuff I've researched. It is kind of like TikTok was in 2020, where it's pretty much just like the Wild Wild West. People are growing their profiles on here fast. I've seen people go and gain 1,000 followers within a couple weeks. I've also seen people that it took them close to 3 months to gain 1,000 followers. So everyone's different. Everyone has their own timeline. Depending on the effort and what you're willing to put in, is what you will get out. The biggest thing is stopping the scroll. You'll see on this third bullet point here, that's just like any social platform. You want to stop the scroll. You want to say something edgy or controversial or just be real. Storytelling is really big right now. So that's why I put like just simple stories. They are going to win majority of the time. The point of this presentation today is to help you kind of see my method and what I've been doing. This is not a method that I have learned from someone else. This is something that I've done in real time. So I want to share it with all of you today. So what's working right now from my research is the top creators I've found and I've seen on there, they are not overcomplicating anything. They are writing short, relatable thoughts that make people feel something. By short, relatable thoughts, I'm seeing it in two ways. One way is people are sharing quick one-liners. And what I mean by a one-liner is this. Let me pull up my profile and I will show you a quick one-liner, something like this maybe. Like this one did pretty well. I mean, it didn't, not my greatest one. It only got 437 views, but this is what I mean by a one-liner, just like quick sentences. You can see though it got some decent engagement. Few people answered and commented on that. But one-liners are just quick reads. Like this one right here did pretty well.
Can
To
you
only
read out
have
what it says? Sorry, Phil. There's just it's really small on camera. So when you say this one, can you just read what it says?
okay. This one says the only asset that matters is the person you become. Okay, that's what we have right here. That was the post. I got 16 hearts or likes, whatever you want to call it, and 8 comments. Only 551 views, but this is what's been working. I've been experimenting with some of these longer posts as well. So that's all I mean. I'll get back to the slideshow. Just short, quick, relatable thoughts. Multiple lines if you want to do that as well. There's nothing wrong with that, but what I will say is like something like this. This is a post of actually Bianca. She is in our group. You can see that this post got 4.2 million views. Okay, this is one of the formats that has been hitting recently. And what I noticed about this one that you don't notice about some other just normal people writing is she used a lot of numbers in this. And this is comparable because when someone sees this and they're like, oh, well, she's talking about ages. Well, is this right? they're spending time, reading this, and then she throws in her little motivational CTA or whatever you want to call it at the end here. It's kind of hit them in the face with this. It says, "You're not that young anymore. Now is your time to build, not just scroll." Uh, there's no really there's a structure to this, in my opinion, because on this first one, she catches your attention because, like, we're in 2026. And then she gives the body here. Okay, so she's explaining in 1986, you were born, you're now 40. 87, you're now 39. She kind of does this listicle format. It goes in sequence, it goes in order. It keeps people intrigued because they see numbers. I don't know what it is about numbers and psychology, but people love that. They love reading statistics and facts. This is a format that I'm actually leaning into more recently. Here's another one that she made. It's a little different, a little shorter, but she got over 80,000 views on it, as you can see at the top here. So I asked her permission if I could share these before I just shared them. I talked with her this morning, so she was cool with that. So yeah, she's in the group. Y'all reach out to her if y'all want to pick her brain. I know she has some good resources too. Her name is Bianca, and this was my attempt at that format. So right here, I will read this out. So I put in 2026, 2018 was 8 years ago when you said you'd start. 2016, 10 years ago when you thought you had time. The clock's not the problem, your hesitation is. Now's your time, start building. So it's just what I'm trying to show you here is these are quick hits, quick little statements that's easy to read. And you notice I have spaces in between here. So when you are typing in threads, you want it to be as readable as possible. So I'll show you right here. Let me just pull this up. So as I'm making a new post, you're going to write your first line, and then you hit enter. Make sure you hit enter twice, and it keeps that space in the line, as you can see. And as you go down and you're spacing them out, it's going to post like this. Now, I noticed some that might be like, okay, yeah, we understand that, but a lot of people don't realize that. Um, Putting that little space in there, it makes it easier to read. People are actually going to spend time on that post to read, and that is one of the metrics that most of these platforms measure is how long did someone stay on your post on the screen. I know Facebook is really big about that with your post staying in the feed for longer. It recognizes that. Threads is very similar. Um, So after I just shared those examples, I was going to wait till the end of the slide to do that. I went ahead and just shared them. So basically, what you want, these 5 bullet points down here, you want genuine ideas. That's going to beat your perfect grammar. It does not have to look perfect. It does not have to make perfect sense. It is raw, real, authentic thoughts is what is um, performing really well. So your engagement is what you want. Views are nice, okay, but the engagement is what you're going for because the more engagement you have, the views will come, but it also signals to people that are looking at it like, hey, I might be interested in this. So they'll jump in the conversation. So that's going to trump posting more is posting quality and getting the engagement. And like you saw on Bianca's post here, using those stats and numbers, I wanted to add that bullet point into this as well. That's huge. I will go back to that again. You can see this is a very simple format that she wrote this in. And what I actually did earlier today was I took a screenshot of this and I can kind of show you live here what I did. Let me zoom this in so it's better. So this is in our ChatGPT. I created a whole project folder, right? This is what I do. I just named it Threads Content Hub. And I started this chat earlier where I dropped in. Is this my chat? Bear with me. I didn't plan on doing this, but I'm going to do it because I like going with the flow. Where are we at? Screenshot, Launchpad. Here it is. Okay. So as you can see, I took a screenshot of her post that had the 4 million views here. Okay. This is a great tip for anyone to use that I actually used to never do this because I didn't want to model people and I didn't want to copy what others were doing. But the fact of the matter is if you want to, follow in people's footsteps and you want to get noticed as well, you need to model the formats that are working. So that being said, I took a screenshot of this post and I uploaded it into this chat and I said, help me recreate this post. What are some catchy ideas we could come up with besides ages? Um, Due to the fact that Jess and I have trained our ChatGPT model very well, it understands kind of what we're going with. So I went with this one. Um, just the first idea, I reworded it slightly and put it in my own words and rewrote it before I posted it. So I did not just copy and paste. It is very similar. The post that I made, it's very similar to this, but I still took it and made it my own. Um, and I have some other ideas that I'm going to test here that it gave me. But just so you can see, that's a way that you can go in and kind of create your own project folders or your own um, GPTs inside, and different ways you can think outside of the box to get ideas from it. I'm also going to drop in a cool resource that I created for everyone during this presentation at the end, to kind of help you. You can put it in your project folder. I put together a nice little document for everybody. So what we'll do here now is I want to explain this structure. Okay, this is the structure that's going to work not only for threads, but for most of your social media posts. Okay, the first, like most of you hear all the time, is you want to have a hook. You need to have your first line or 1 to 2 lines that are going to spark that curiosity, that's going to evoke emotion in somebody, that might be a contradiction even to a popular opinion. I know a lot of people start post out on threads that say unpopular opinion, and then they kind of go against the grain with a popular narrative just to kind of spark an emotion. And, you know, best case scenario, they get a lot of eyeballs on that post because it's a very controversial or a very intriguing subject. So after the hook, you want to give a little short build up. Number 2 here, give context to it. Make this relatable, and you're kind of building up to the payoff, which is the third point. So you hook them in with something that's a little controversial, then you kind of give them context. That's your build up, okay, as you write through the line. Then the payoff is going to be the aha moment, like, hey, this is why I am doing this. Okay, so that's their aha moment. And then a CTA or a reflection at the end. I feel like a CTA is optional. You don't necessarily have to have a CTA in every single post. That is my personal opinion. Although, if you want to put one in every post, it could be something as simple as follow me or share this with a friend, or, um, send me a DM if you want more information. Whatever the context is, however it flows good in your post. Um, I will also have this structure. I have put this in this document here. I'll show you. Um, so right here, this is the document that I have created for everyone. It's got a bunch of hooks and good stuff. I will drop that link though here at the end. Not much longer on this presentation. Here are some examples just to kind of, if you want to look at hooks, these are pretty generic examples, but this is a good way to look at them. So the first box is everyone trying to post more, but nobody's talking about how to post better. So that's like a curiosity of, well, yeah, I do hear a lot of people telling me to post more, but then you contradict it because no one's talking about how to post better. You see how you kind of contradict it there? And yes, Sandra, Gamma is amazing. I used it a long time ago when it first came out, and I got away from it a long time ago, and I've recently got back into it. So I'm very happy with it. The second point here is a relatable struggle plus a transformation process. So What I wrote in there was, I used to post daily but never saw traction. That's until I simplified everything. So you share the relatable struggle there, which is I used to post daily and never saw traction. I think a lot of people can relate to that who is posting content. You might be posting every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, and just not getting traction. Well, the transformation process there is that is until I simplified everything. Okay, so relatable struggle in the beginning, and then your transformation process that hooks them in. And if they are interested and want to learn more, they will keep reading. And the third one here is just a shift, like a shift perspective with a truth bomb. Just want to kind of try to change their mind and change the thinking a little bit. So I wrote on this one, it's not about writing more, it's about writing what makes people stop scrolling. So someone might read that and be like, huh, so all these people that are saying post more, it's not necessarily all about posting more. Um, we want to post what gets them to stop scrolling. Stand by. There's the link, Sandra. Ha, look at that. Jess is on it too. What? I just looked over and saw it. It's all good. We're doing this. All right. Next slide here. Oop. This is a prompt that I want to give you all. So I want to drop this in. This is just a simple, very simple prompt. It's nothing crazy. I want to drop this in the chat if everyone wants to grab it. Multitask mode. I'll have to see what that is. I'll look into all that later. Um, so there's a prompt in the chat there. So I'm just going to read it on the screen. It says, write the following message in 5 different ways: one bold, one story driven, one short and punchy, one humorous, and one inspirational. Here is the message. So what you would do is you would delete this, obviously. So when you post that in, you write in your quick message for your post idea. And this is telling ChatGPT or Gemini or whichever LLM you're using. It's a very basic, very generic prompt, so you're not going to get the best responses, but this is just to give you an idea of like, hey, you can take one idea and you can get 5 different posts from it. You can use the same theme with different angles. It's going to connect with a bunch of different types of readers, and it's going to save you hours of time by doing that. So the scheduling system is another thing I want to talk about, and this is what we use. We create our contents. Our whole system here is I have my project folder inside of ChatGPT here. So as you can see, this is my Threads content hub. I have uploaded with some files in here, and I have given it some other instructions on how I want it to create, which these will be other trainings and other stuff we can get into later. I won't get too deep into how we do that, but anyone that has used ChatGPT, these are fairly simple to create. You do have to have the plus version at least in order to make project folders. I'll add that in as well. So going from there, this is what I do. I have my content hub with my uploaded files. I will start my conversations here. You can see I have quite a few started, and I will go back and forth and I will get my ideas and get them squared away. And we have our social planner, our whole system. I spent 2 hours, like 2 or 3 days ago. I spent almost like a little less than 2 hours, and I created 3 pieces of content for the rest of this month. So I do not have to worry about posting anymore. This is going to allow me to focus strictly on engaging and starting conversations.
There's a good question in the chat there for you, Phil.
Yeah. Sandra, I do. Jess answered you there. We got 3 files in there. So, Sandra, you'll know about this. Our 90-day accelerator pledge form. I have that loaded in there to help pull from my CMO playbook. And then I just have some hook documents in there as well that it pulls from. And then in the instructions, I gave it some, just like some rules to follow. I told it, like, don't use M dashes. That's one of the rules I gave it to follow. Um, just some basic writing things that I want it to go with, like words not to use, avoid certain things, stuff like that. So what I would recommend, uh, anyone, I actually helped a client build this out, their project folder, a couple days ago. So I gave him some of the hooks documents that I have, and I created this document that I'm going to give to our community. That way they could put this in their database. This is just hooks for them to pull from. I know the text is pretty small, but I will make this all available to everyone. So there we go. So yeah, basically that's the system I have. Like I said, we created the project folder inside of ChatGPT. You can either do that or create a custom GPT. They would both work. Um, I schedule everything out. This is our GHL. So this is our social planner. Inside of there, I have quite a few of my socials connected, but I mainly only, well, really, I only focus on threads for now. So good stuff there. You can actually um, track comments in here now. This is a new thing that they've created. Keep up with all your statistics, which I just started posting in here. So in about a week, I'm going to come in and start tracking all this. They actually upgraded this as well. There are social trends in here now that we can look through and go through and kind of see if there's any content we want to create based on this. I've heard that they are getting ready to upgrade this pretty well and do some more stuff in here. And then there's just posting settings you can set up for each, your what's the word I'm trying for your integrations for your social accounts. So it's good stuff. This is what we've been doing for a while now, and pretty much allows me to focus straight in on engaging. I don't have to worry about posting. I just schedule everything out. This is what I'm doing now. So I schedule at least 3 per day. And then I will take blocks of time on my calendar and I just dedicate it straight to engaging and answering people's questions and commenting on other posts and following other people who would like to, follow me. Um, that's a whole strategy in and of itself. And in the upcoming threads training that I'm going to be working on, I'm going to be going way, way more in depth. I'm kind of just touching surface level stuff right now with this. I just wanted to introduce the process essentially here today. So the action plan is simple. Once I have the document that's going to help you master the structure, it is written in the document. Um, you're just going to practice getting your hooks in, trying to, because that's one, like, the most important part of your content is the hook, really. If you don't hook someone in and they just scroll on by, it's not going to be seen. So a thing I like saying is you're either going to create a piece of content and hit post and everyone's going to love it. So thousands, if not millions of people will see it. Or you're going to create a post. Not many people are going to see it and it's not going to matter anyways. So that's why I love telling people, like, just hit post. Like, no matter what, just hit post. It doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be polished. It doesn't have to be like, people want to create the most perfect posts in the world. I say that because I was people. I was that person for a long time. I did not want to post anything that looked like shit. I did not want to post anything that made me look lesser. But now I don't care. I just post it. What was my highest engaging post or most views? I will actually pull that up and show you. Amanda, appreciate you. This has been a fun presentation. let me get to my Threads profile. I actually found a format. One cool thing, I'm just gonna scroll through fast because I know about where it's at here. All right. This format here, they have this really cool feature in Threads too called a spoiler. So this is what I did. And you can see like this is a spoiler. So someone actually has to click that in order for it to be revealed. So it's a good way to get more engagement on your post. And my biggest performing post was right here. Where is it at? I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Here it is, right here. So this one had 167,000 views, over 15,000 likes, 43 comments. This is a big one here was the repost. So over 2,000 people reposted this one. That's why this one got such good reach. They do have an analytics page, Sandra, but it is not the greatest. That's why I just went through my feed here. So yeah, and then as you can see, 367 people shared this. So the hook here was the cheapest therapy of 2025. I know the suspense is killing you, right? The cheapest therapy of 2025, and I wanted to relate this to social media, so this is what I said. Unfollow. So when someone tapped that and they clicked it, they're like, "Oh, okay." And that one just that hit a nerve. Yeah, like that hit a nerve for people on social media. And as I'm reading through the comments, they're all like, "Oh yeah, also this." And like this person said using a different feature on here. I had other people also removed from followers, like they used the feature in there. And if all else fails, blocked. Like people really related to this. So once I had this post happen, we'll go back to my feed here and I started testing it on some other things. Like this one right here, I said the most expensive addiction of 2025. This one got 2.8 thousand views, one new like. So I'm kind of poking. I use social media every day, but I'm kind of also poking people of like, hey, yes, psychology. That's right. Um, One person commented on this one, I think, the biggest distraction of 2025. Once again, social media and all these notifications and emails and all that. So this one got 21,000 views. So I found a good format that was working and I was pushing that format for a while. Yes, doubled down on it. So that was a good one. Um, I started to gain or I started to lose a little traction with them. Like this one didn't do as well. The best hack for your algorithm. That one only got 272 views. But it's not a big deal because honestly, like marketing is just testing. And yeah, Jess just said it in the chat there. Never be afraid to repurpose. I use some of the same pictures all the time. Here's another one I did. This one did okay. This one got a little over 2,000 views. You can see at the top here. The most effective therapy. So the first hook that I had over 160,000 views, I said the cheapest therapy. So I'm like, I'm going to write the most effective therapy. And on this one, I put a block symbol instead of unfollow. So just kind of mixing up what you're seeing and what you're sharing, hitting it from different angles. That's the big kicker I want people to take from this today. Um, these listicles too, I'll share Bianca's posts again. These quick listicles like this, I mean, clearly she's on to something. If she hit over 4 million views on one post, which is incredible. If anyone wanted to book a call that wanted to talk about our system, that wanted to see if we can help you set this up, this is the part of the presentation where I make the CTA of you can scan the QR code and you can book a call with us if you would like to talk more about what we got going on. Other than that, this presentation is done.